Hey, what is going on everybody? My name is Flo and welcome to episode 7 of my Borderlands the pre-sequel Legendary Weapons Guide. Today I have a legendary submachine gun known as the Torrent. Now in my case it is the Skirmish Torrent, but for you the prefix may be a different one. Now, if you want to get this weapon, you will need to fast travel to the Hyperion Hub of Heroism. Now, inside of the Hyperion Hub of Heroism, you will need to accept a mission called Kill Mag from Professor Nakayama. Now, once you have accepted this mission, you will be able to farm for this weapon. Now, Mag is a thresher that will actually drop this weapon. However, he is a one-time encounter during this mission. So once you have beaten him, you will not be able to beat him again. Now, if you want to farm for this weapon, you will need to Alt F4 out of the game every time you killed him and have not gotten this weapon. Now, as you can see right here, Mag is gonna spawn, and he's actually quite tough, to be honest. Now, you should have some decent guns to take him out. However, I actually had my shield up, so he couldn't hurt me. And one thing is, you will need to pay attention to the walls, because the walls will close in on you. Now, there you can see the Torrent is lying on the ground. It didn't take me too many tries to get this, and my inventory actually was full right there, so I had to switch my weapon out for the Torrent. Now, I'm gonna pick it up right here, and you can take another look at the stats of this weapon. Now, jumping to some gameplay here, you will notice very quickly that this gun actually is a pretty decent submachine gun. Now, it has a damage of 2000, which is not that bad for a submachine gun. Usually, submachine guns have a damage of like 1000 to 1500, so 2000 is definitely above average for this. In addition to that, it also has an immense high fire rate. Now, I also had an AUS kit, which also boosted my fire rate quite a bit when I was in mid-air, so every time I aimed down sight, the burst actually shot like it was in a semi-automatic mode, so this actually is a pretty damn awesome gun when it comes to fire rate. Now, the actual special effect of this weapon is that it does not slow you down when you aim down sights, and it also, again, like I said, has an immense high fire rate, and also has a pretty good burst in my opinion. Now, all those DAHL weapons will burst fire when you aim down sight, and so does this one, but this one doesn't only shoot like 2 or 3 bullets when aiming down sight. This actually shoots like 6 to 8 bullets when you aim down sight, which is also pretty good. Now, if you have DAHL parts on that, it actually will increase the burst count by 1, I think. So you actually may want to try and get a weapon that actually has some DAHL parts in there. Now, one thing that I noticed on this weapon is that it did not come with a sight, and I don't know if this weapon actually can come with a sight, but for me at least it didn't. And one more thing is that this gun also will not slow you down whenever you aim down sights, which is not necessary, but it is a nice bonus to have. Now, last but not least, I should mention one thing about this gun. This is pretty much a copy-paste of a gun that we already have seen in Borderlands 2, known as the Emperor. It just has a way cooler skin in my opinion, but apart from that, actually the gun is pretty much identical, and that is actually something that I'm very sad to say about most of these guns inside of Borderlands the pre-sequel. They are either just a direct copy and paste, or they are just stupid reskins and have a different name, which I think is even worse than just copy and pasting all those guns. So I think that the developers actually were quite lazy in this, and I really would have loved to see even more guns than just the 2 or 3 that we got with the pre-sequel. Now, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next Legendary Weapons Guide. Bye bye!